What's poppin'? My name is Jordan McLeod. Thank you for tuning into my YouTube channel. And if this is your first time tuning in, congratulations, you found the channel. I hope it's an encouragement to you. And if it is, go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss none of my upcoming videos. Man, I wanted to talk to you guys about this specific topic, but before we dive into it, I wanted to open up and be transparent, man. About 2 nights ago, I've been wrestling with suicidal thoughts. Yes, wanting to, in my life, commit suicide. I'm being dead serious. This doesn't happen like every day, but it does happen periodically. I have accountability partners that I talk to regarding this, and I think wrestling with depression and also just stress, fear, it's caused me to feel like it's overbearing with what God is calling me to do. And there's moments where I feel like this is the only path to go. Obviously, all those different things that I just said to you are lies from the enemy. And I definitely realized that. And so I just wanted to tell you guys that, just to be transparent. Like, following Jesus is not peaches and cream. It is not all about being perfect. In terms of our walk, or the walk with Jesus is not a perfect walk. It's a hard walk. It's an enduring path of suffering and tribulation. Yeah, there's joy. Yeah, there's moments of happiness, and there's great moments and opportunities and experiences that God does, and we love those moments. But I wanted to open up to you of some of the things that I've been facing. So maybe for you, you've been, stressed out or full of just anxiety or fear, just some of the things that's been happening during the coronavirus even. And so I wanted to just tell you, man, like, you're not alone. You're not alone, brother. You're not alone, sister. And so I definitely want you guys to be encouraged through this time, and realize that you're not alone through what you're facing. So continue to walk with people, continue to walk with believers, continue to walk with people in your churches, or churches that you're a part of. Connect with different leaders, pastors, whoever it is. And so through it all, I just want you to be encouraged. But I want to talk about something that you have heard, I have heard. I mean, come on now. Like, I've heard this so many times. I think I said it once or twice. I'm not going to lie. But God won't put more on me than I can handle. God won't put more on me than I can bear. I got that. Boo-boo, you got this. God got you. Everything you go through, you good. Ain't nothing gonna stop you. And so I know you heard all those things, and may have not have been said that way, but I know that you've heard that saying before. Now, is that true? God won't put more on me than I can handle. Now, is that really true? Actually, the Bible is clear that it's not. You'll be surprised that it's not even found on any page in this book. It's funny because in 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 7 and 8, Paul is talking to the Corinth church. Now, further down to 8 and 9, the verses in 2 Corinthians chapter 1, he says this. I'm going to read it to you. He says this: "For we do not want you to be ignorant, brethren, of our trouble which came to us in Asia, that we were burdened beyond measure, above strength, so that we were despaired even of life. Yes, we had the sentence of death in ourselves, that we should not trust in ourselves, but in God who raises the dead." Now that is crazy, because he totally debunks that saying, because he's saying right here, our trouble. Okay, then he goes deeper. He says beyond, burden beyond measure, above strength. But the promise that he ends with, the heart that he ends with, is that we should put our faith and our trust in God. And that we should put our faith and trust in God alone and not in ourselves. Now, I'm saying that to you. I'm preaching that. I'm reading this off the pages. A lot of times that is not our reality. We might not see that happen every single time. We may depend on different things as opposed to putting our faith and trust in God. So Paul is reminding us to put our faith and trust in God in the midst of suffering and things that we're going through. And so the reason why I shared my story and some of the things that I've been going through before talking about this is committing suicide is a huge thing. That means it's like, man, this squat, this weight that I'm pulling up, it's beyond measure. Now, I'm not saying what I'm going through was related to Paul. I don't know what he was going through in the totality of it, but it's the point of putting our faith and trust in God and not in other things while we are suffering. Now, this message is not a popular message, but it's in the Bible. It's in the Word of God, and throughout the whole Bible, not just Old Testament or not just New Testament, like a whole bunch of characters throughout the Bible have suffered in their walk with Jesus, New Testament, and also suffering with God in the Old Testament and different things that they were going through. I mean, you even think about Jesus himself. He suffered. Suffering in the garden, suffering being betrayed, suffering through his own ministry, suffering before his ministry, people betraying him and talking about him and spitting on him. And so you see the suffering. So this is the main point that I'm getting at, is to put your faith and your trust in Jesus. We must put our faith and trust in Jesus Christ, not in politics, not in the White House, not in this political party, not in this certain group, not in the education system. Now, those things do have a part. But we need to put our faith and trust in Jesus Christ. And that's how we get our strength. That's how we build our faith even more. I'm even reminded of people that were from, just the older generation. They would say to me and bring up Popeyes. If you ever seen the cartoon Popeyes, or if you haven't, pull them up on YouTube. Popeyes would eat this spinach, and he would gain this strength in his arms, and his arms would get stronger. And as he was getting stronger, he was able to do things he wasn't able to do before. And he knew that it was because of the spinach. He knew it wasn't because of him. My friends, I'm not saying that Jesus is spinach, but what I am saying is, as we put our faith and trust into Jesus Christ, we being weak and being burdened beyond measure above our strength and the things that we're going through, God will sustain us and give us the strength that we need as we depend on him to have that joy, to have that peace, to have that stability, and the way to adapt to certain situations that we're going through while we are suffering, to press forward for the sake of the gospel of the kingdom, for the sake of his church, for the sake of our ministries, for the sake of our families and generations to come, to be obedient unto God despite suffering. And so I wanted to encourage you by this video, not to beat you down, but to build you up according to the riches and glory of his word. And so I hope this video has impacted you. If it has impacted you, I pray that you would share with other people. Subscribe, like, comment, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. And you already know I'm going to see you on the next video. Deuces.